11/25/2024. We've got a special edition of Stand Tall. As you guys can see, we've got a little bit of a different setup. I've actually just made this behind me. So we flip flop things around until I can reset and redo the desk. But today's episode is about mental health and mental health awareness. So I just recently went through a psychiatric program that was 10 days long with one of the major hospitals here in the area. Because if it's as big as it is, with the name attached to it, it obviously has something to do with legitimate outcome. So I went through my rock ceremony. This one says "Ride the Wave," because I struggle with bipolar disorder. So there's a lot of ups and downs with bipolar and bipolar 2, from manic phases to depressive phases. And so whether it's periods of my life where I was literally sleeping 14 plus hours a day, no will to get up and do anything, no drive in life, not knowing what I wanted to be when I grew up, quote unquote, not even wanting to go to the job that I had, to manic phases in my life where I felt like I started 2 or 3 different companies at once, or had all of these projects going on, from art projects to creative projects to companies to buying business cards and mugs, and just like all of these brilliant ideas that ultimately went nowhere. So there really is a spectrum when it comes to something like that, and you can definitely mess things up, especially if you don't get help. So with that, I just want to say there should not be a stigma around mental health, because just because someone looks normal, acts normal, doesn't mean that they're thinking normal, and it certainly doesn't mean that their life is normal. It's much easier to see if somebody's in a wheelchair, if somebody's struggling with something physical. You might be able to actually see physically what it is, or they might be in the hospital bed. Mental health is a lot more pervasive, right? You don't always know what somebody's going through, and the big thing is not admitting it to yourself and not getting help. And so that's what I want to encourage you to do. If you feel like something might be wrong, if you feel like something's off, if you're like, I used to be this happy person when I was growing up and now I don't have this, well, have it looked into. In today's day and age, it really is hurtful to hear people that you might work with or even in your family say, well, depression doesn't exist. You can just fix it with diet and exercise. Unfortunately, that's not the case, because I don't know if you've taken a look at the food supply, but we have chemicals in our water, we have chemicals in our food, and we have genetics that have been affected by chemicals as well, depending on what our birth parents have taken, right? So, my personal story is that my birth mother took her own life when I was 2 years old. She struggled with depression and actually really a form of bipolar herself. And so, as much as I wanted to, fight the good fight against big pharma, the real truth is I had to admit to myself that there is a genetic thing here. There is something hereditary to this, and there's nothing that I can do about it. I actually tried the diet, the exercise, the sunlight, and it didn't work. It was pretty much the only thing that was getting me out of the bed. I was looking forward to the gym. I was eating healthy. I was getting my sunlight. I was walking, 20 plus minutes a day, and nothing was helping. So, unless you've been through it, people who say this doesn't exist, that mental disorder doesn't exist, they don't get it. And honestly, I don't wish it on them. I hope that they stay happy and healthy, and they don't ever have to go through something like the people that do struggle with mental health go through. So, today's video, I just want to say, like, if you're struggling in any form or fashion, just know that there's help available. There's programs everywhere. There's people out there. You can even private message me through any of the methods, and I will be happy to talk to you about it, as I know, through my own struggles with, not necessarily seeing or hearing voices, but definitely believing in things that don't exist. And so there shouldn't be a stigma around it, and you should be able to get the help you need, and the help you need is available. Trust me. It's out there, it's available. Major hospitals have it. It can be covered by insurance. And so, whatever you need to do, get that help. Get that help that you need, because the world needs you if you're struggling with depression. And if you're struggling with mania or something else, whatever the issue might be, you have this gift for a reason. And so make sure that you're preserving your life so that you can take care of those around you, so that you can figure out what it is that makes you special to the world. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up and actually head to the gym. But again, as we move forward through life, make sure that we're riding that wave and we're doing it with good intentions, positive outcomes, and good vibes. We'll see you guys on the next one.